Hey, it's Marc Coley, and you have landed yourself once again on my YouTube channel. Here we discuss all things personal growth, mindset mastery, and spiritual development and exploration. Because guess what? We are going to explore some things. So today we are talking about why you are losing friends, why you are in the season of your life where you feel that close attachments that you've had with people, your day ones, your close friends, and all of this, it seems to be some friction, or it seems to be a disconnect, or it feels that you're out of alignment with them, you out of sync. What used to bond you, what used to connect you, what used to be your topic when you got on the phone with friends and things that you used to be interested in, it's now becoming, or at least feeling like you're forcing some things to take place. Today's video, I want to get into what's going on with you, because you're the problem, not them. I know what's going on with you, and also some strategies and the mindset you should now embrace for the future. All right, stay tuned and we're gonna get into this conversation, and turn on that post notification so you will know when I upload a new video. New videos every single week, I hope. One of the first things I want you to think about is you're the problem, not them. I know that's difficult to hear because you want to say they're the problem, but let's keep in mind, when you start to do soul work and you start to even simple things as read books, and you're going to conferences, and you're just in this phase of your life where you're literally saying, okay, it's time for me to change. I don't like where I've been. I don't like what I'm doing. I know there's greater purpose in me, greater potential in me. You're going through a metamorphosis. You're going through a paradigm shift. Your life is literally upgrading right in front of you. And as a result of all of those components working together, you are changing. And so the reason that I said you're the problem, not them, because they're still the same person. That person that connected with you years ago, your day one, y'all went to the same school, y'all hung around the same people, y'all were interested in the same thing, y'all went to the same clubs, and I'm talking to male and female, it doesn't matter. Your day ones are your day ones. And so because you're going through this evolution, you feel that you're supposed to stay connected to them. And I'm not going to say that's good, it's bad. I'm going to let you be the judge of that. But you have noticed since you've started this upgrade that there has been a shift in the dynamics of the relationship, and it's because you are changing, you're evolving, you're becoming, you're just different. And so the person that met them years ago is no longer that person. Friendships only work if two people are going in the same direction, whether it's spoken upon or not. Friendships are this, what I like to call this unspoken agreement with souls, unspoken agreement with people in your lives, because you said, hey, we're going in the same direction. And even with me using the word say it, you really haven't said anything. You meet a person, you bond over something, and life begins to unfold where you see similarities in your direction and you start to move in that same pathway. Even if the direction you're moving in is nowhere at all, you've agreed somewhere with non-communication that we're going to be in this place together. So when you start to upgrade, and when you start to pivot, and when you start to truly want more out of life, that agreement has been breached, that contract has been breached. And I know you don't look at it like that. You look at it like, I'm evolving, I'm upgrading, and I want my friends to come along. But keep in mind, this unspoken rule that bonded us is what's supposed to keep us right here, or keep us going in a certain direction. So you changing the course. And so that's why I started this video by saying you are the problem. It's not necessarily a bad problem, but I want you to understand you are the cause of the friction. If you were to say, I'm going to stay the same, nothing is going to change about me, you and your friend will still be in same type of connection. Now, when we get in situations like that, the first thing that we want to do is change our friends. The first thing we want to do is invite them to read books. We want to invite them to the conferences we're going to. We want to invite them to attend the webinar that changed your life. You want to invite them to church. You want to invite them to the thing that has literally shifted your life, and you want them to be excited. You want them to be happy, and ultimately you want to bring your friend along with you, because that's the connection. Y'all day ones, right? Listen, that doesn't always happen the same way. Everybody's story is different. And sometimes we get upset with people because they're not progressing at the rate that we want them to progress. When we start to try to impose our new beliefs, our new thoughts, our new ideas, once again, remember, you're the one changing, not them. Sometimes people don't gravitate to that. Sometimes people don't want the change or the shift. Sometimes people are comfortable with where they are, and you have to be okay with your lives going in a different direction now. Many people try to hold on to relationships that where there's no longer connection just out of loyalty, because we've been friends, because we've been connected, because we've always been down with each other. But you got to understand, this is not a cliche that everybody can't go. It's not a everybody can't go because it's so this elitist type thing. No, it's not. I'm better than you, you better than me. It's none of that. Everybody can't go because I've shifted directions, and now since I'm going in this new path, in this new direction, you can't go, not because I don't want you to go. You can't go because it's not your time, or it's not your decision, or it's not your desire to go right now. So you have two decisions to make. Either you're going to continue down the pathway to upgrade your life and to become better, or you're going to wait, you're going to sabotage, you're going to wait around for your friends to catch on, and then you're going to go with them. Most of the times we take option one. We decide to shift our lives and we go. And just because you're shifting your life doesn't mean that people around you want to shift theirs. I know that this is a difficult place, and many of us have found ourselves there because we want to hold on to what's familiar. And one of the things that's most familiar is our friendships. Those are the people that rock with us. Those are the people that we trust. And this is why sometimes I don't gravitate to the notion no new friends. What do you mean no new friends? No new friends maybe blocking the very blessing of the next level of relationships in your life. No new friends. And I get the concept of it because you want to keep the day ones the day ones, but sometimes the day ones are not ready for where you are going, not because you're better. It's because simply they're not ready for that evolution that is coming to your life. Now, some of the things that you need to be mindful of is that all relationships don't have to end messy. You acting funny, you this and that, and keep in mind, you can't control how another person responds to you. But I believe that if you're upfront with where you're going in life, I think naturally sometimes, and once again, sometimes people just gonna do whatever they want to do. But when you're upfront and you say, friend, this is where I'm going, this is what I'm doing, I would love for you to join, but I don't want to force you into anything. Natural progression is that person is going to naturally fall off because they don't feel connected to you any longer. If all the time we used to get on the phone and the only thing we used to talk about was other people, and now all of a sudden you want to talk about Miles Monroe, you want to talk about TD Jakes, you want to talk about Steve Jobs and what he built, you want to talk about your business, you want to talk about this conference, you want to talk about this book you're reading, you want to talk about this documentary where you learn so much, and they're not with it, you're going to be putting a strain on the relationship anyway. So those conversations and those connections are going to slowly fizzle out. Can you be a positive influence on somebody's life? Of course you can be, but can you change them? No, you cannot. And you're going to become frustrated with trying to help and trying to guide and trying to provide mentorship that they did not ask for. Let that soak in. They didn't ask to change. They didn't ask to evolve. They didn't ask to upgrade. They didn't say they wanted better. They didn't say they wanted somebody to recognize the potential. And I know all of this is coming from a well-meaningful place, but it was not asked for. It was not invited in. And so what you have to do is hope and desire the best for that friend at a time where it's right and it's divine for them. Just as the time that you decided to upgrade and change your life was right for you, let that time be right for them. Don't force and don't cause resentment. That's the most important key. I remember one time when I was young and I started to really get involved in church and, gave my life to God and did the Christian thing and just was really into it. And all of my friends, because this was such a life-changing time for me, I wanted all of my friends on board with this transformation because I wanted them to have the best for their lives as well. So it came from a really, really, really great place. I meant well. My desires were so sincere, but my approach was not. I ended up almost ruining some of those relationships because I was so trying to control, and you shouldn't do this and you don't need to do that and you need to start doing this, and so the people that I had as friends, they no longer felt like friends on their perspective because I was more like this uninvited or this unrequested mentor or this unrequested life guide that they didn't ask for. So you have to let people evolve at the speed and the rate that they decide to, and it may not be how fast you want. And because of this, it may put a strain on the relationship. And let's be honest, that relationship may dwindle to nothing. Maybe a person that used to be your best friend 10 years from now may only be an associate. Are you okay with that? We don't really talk a lot about the parts of success that are not as glamorous as the upgrade. The upgrade is beautiful, but the consequences, and not in a negative way, but the reality of what happens when you upgrade your life is not just all roses and happiness. It comes with some difficult conversations. It comes with sometimes people think you're acting funny and you're acting different, and you need to remember where you come from, and all of a sudden you switching up, and you're gonna have to be able to embrace all of this that comes with it, because it's no easy feat. But you must continue your pursuit of becoming the greatest, the most evolved, the most happiest, the most peaceful version of yourself. And it's going to take a lot of soul work. It's what I share with my community all the time. It takes drastic soul work, and soul work is never ending. It's not this one and you're done. It's not this one book that you read and it changes your life forever and you never have to go back and do any more work. This is a lifelong commitment to evolving. Sometimes you're going to make mistakes. Sometimes you're going to get it wrong. Sometimes you're going to get it right. Sometimes you're going to make an A. Sometimes you're going to make an F. Sometimes you're going to be right at the D level, barely passing, but this is the life experience. And as you evolve and grow, you're going to start to align and attract yourself to new people. I want you to be open to new people. I want you to be open to new friendships. I want you to be open to new relationships, because when you vibrate higher, when there's a higher frequency, when there's happiness about you, you no longer relate to the trauma bonding. You no longer relate to the struggle friendships. Some of those friendships were built on premises that were faulty to begin with. Some of those day ones, and it's nothing, they're not bad people. You're not a bad person, but some of those day ones came out of trauma. Some of those day ones are we connected based on some things in us that weren't healed, or things that we weren't working on. We bonded over abuse in a relationship. We bonded over poverty. We bonded over lack. We bonded over talking about people, and we bonded over these things. We bonded over trauma. And once one person decides that this is no longer my story, this is no longer my life, and they are in the process of moving forward, those friendships that were formed in that season will quickly start to vanish. I know you want to fight to hold on. You want to fight out of loyalty. You want to fight to stay down. You want to fight to prove that you haven't changed, but you have changed. You did change, and you are changing. And the purpose of all of this is for you to continue to change. You don't do soul work. You don't do meditation. You don't get a therapist. You don't do all of these things that stay the same. It's just like somebody going to the doctor and say, I want to ensure that when I go to the doctor, whatever issues that I'm having, that I come back home with the same issues. You want to come back home better. You want to come back home with improving what your health is. And it's the same way when you start to do this internal work, which is the most significant work that you could do. You want to become better. And so when people tell you that you acting different, you should take that as a compliment, not as a slap, not as a slander. And they may mean it in a condescending way. They may mean it in a nice, nasty way, but you better take it as a compliment, because it is showing you that people are noticing the shifts that are taking place. What you used to be into, you're not into anymore. What used to intrigue you no longer intrigues you. Conversations that used to get you riled up no longer get you riled up. And it's a sign to you. It's a sign to you that you're doing the work that is proper and necessary. That's all I have for today. If you love conversations like this, I want to invite you to be a part of my community, which is called Mastering Life with Marc Coley. We meet every single Monday at 7 a.m. via Zoom. It is a class all about mindset mastery, personal growth, spiritual development, and it's absolutely live and it's absolutely free. And so I would love for you to be a part of that. Wherever this video may be posted, I want you to go to my bio or go to the description and get that link and register. Once you register, you'll be enrolled in our database, and you will receive an email and a text every single Monday about this class, a reminder email, and also the text to access the call, and an email to access the call as well. It's hosted via Zoom, so you just log in and you sit there and you take notes, and you'll be a part of a community that is growing, that is evolving, that is very interactive. So hit that link below and make sure that you like this video, subscribe, and drop a comment below. Have you experienced any relationships where it's no longer connecting like it used to connect? Are you experiencing any discomfort in some relationships that you thought would last forever? Are you experiencing a growth spurt and you are having people tell you that you are noticeably changing? Let me know in the comments and let's talk about it. Until next time, let's continue to evolve. Peace.